Hello, my name is Catherine Eastlake, and I am a certified Synergetic Play Therapist supervisor. And I'm here today with Lisa Dion to ask her some questions about how synergetic play therapy has shown up in people's lives during this pandemic. So, Lisa, we know, those of us in this synergetic community, that you have been supporting therapists, teachers, business people, moms, dads, all sorts of people right now using SPT principles. And one of the things I think we're really curious about is, how have you been using the SPT principles to take care of yourself?
How have I actually embodied what I'm teaching?
Yes, exactly.
So, since this started, I can't tell you how many times I have said to myself, thank gosh for SPT in my own process. And I think the reason why is this whole pandemic has forced me to really see and understand the value of what we actually teach in the model. So, as you know, the foundation of SPT and all the philosophy behind it, and really the underpinnings of the model, it's really a way of understanding human behavior ultimately, and it's really a way of understanding relationship, and more specifically, not just a relationship, with the child or the parent, but with ourselves. And I think that's the part for me that has shown up daily since the pandemic, where I am looking at the framework of SPT. So I'm looking at things like, what do I know about threats in the brain? What do I know about nervous system regulation? What do I know about how people respond in traumatic situations? And having that knowledge and the framework, um, honestly, Catherine, it's been like a compass for me. And I think that's so important to say because, I'm in the storm too. I'm not immune from the storm, and I'm having moments of, wow, those are big waves. These are big waves. Am I going to sink? I mean, all these things that everyone else is experiencing too. But what SPT has given me is the compass to actually be able to rise out of the storm and look back and be able to go, Lisa, for myself, I understand why I'm doing what I'm doing. I understand why I'm responding the way I'm responding. I'm understanding in real time what's happening in my brain, what's happening in my body, what's happening in my own physiology. And then also being able then to take the knowledge of, and then what do we do with that? And so my brain isn't having to fight so hard to go, what are my options? What are my options? I know what my options are. I've been training myself in what the options are. And now I'm just taking it and putting it into practice in the midst of a really significant crisis. And so this idea in SPT, for example, of regulation and ultimately the connection to yourself and to myself. I mean, that is something on a daily basis that I am looking at. How is the quality of my relationship with myself? How's the quality of connection with myself? How am I regulating? How am I not regulating? What's the feedback in my own physiology telling me about what I need more of, what I need less of? Um, and I'm noticing that every day I'm working at making sometimes macro, but sometimes micro adjustments in my own relationship with myself. Again, pointing me back to compass, my own North Star, if we're going to stay on that metaphor, which keeps me in this place of, no matter what's happening, I'm trusting that I'm going to be okay, because I am okay in this moment, even if it doesn't feel like I'm okay in this moment. And I really think without the framework and without the understanding of all of that, I wouldn't be able right now to be what we call the external regulator for so many. mean, we are as a community, so myself and the Institute, I mean, we're holding space for thousands of people. And I just don't know if I'd be able to hold as much as I'm holding. Not to mention, I have my own child in my home that I'm holding her process as well and helping her navigate all these changes. And so I just keep coming back to, gosh, thank goodness for SPT, as it is giving me a framework and a compass to help me know and normalize what's happening for myself. And then I already know the options on what to do about it. And the more I can stay committed to that process, I keep finding, here's the most extraordinary thing, and this is actually what's going to make me teary. I keep finding that even in the midst of incredible challenge right now, Catherine, I'm finding more and new depths in me. I'm finding larger places where I can access larger ranges in me, wider windows of tolerance in me. And I'm changing, like I'm transforming. And that's allowing me to hold larger and larger states of dysregulation around me. And at the end of the day, that's what we're working for also in the playroom and with our clients. You know, how much can we hold without losing ourselves, and then create an invitation for other to then connect with themselves and to move towards what's uncomfortable in them so they can integrate. And I just am really feeling the SPT as a way of being right now, on a core level. It's transforming me, which is such an odd thing to say since, it came into existence a long time ago. And to realize it's not a static thing, it's not a static model. And even my own relationship is continuing to evolve, but it is fundamentally changing me right now in this whole experience. Um, I'm so grateful for SPT. Mhm. And I know you're seeing that too
Mhm.
with people you're supervising, and I imagine you're feeling some of that in your own life, as well. It's an amazing thing to watch it happen in a community, to actually be able to see the community go through processes together, and actually, see the community coming out stronger and more connected and more regulated than they were before this all happened. It's just like heart opening, mind blowing, uh, just beautifulness.
Yeah. I mean, I felt that. I felt what you were describing, and I have observed that. I've observed that in the therapist that I do consultation and supervision with, but then also in the community. And I think one way I would put words to it is that as the logistics of the pandemic have evolved, and we're starting to think about what happens next, what are maybe reopening phases, those of us in the SPT community aren't just thinking about how to reopen doors. There's this addition. What am I taking forward? I've talked with therapists about what they've learned through this process and what they want to add to what they used to do.
Yeah,
And so there's this real deepening of experience that's happening.
yeah, it is. It's beautiful. It's
Mhm.
I've always felt and I've seen that SPT is also a personal journey of self-discovery. And we are all in one giant playroom right now, having our own play therapy sessions. and,
Mhm.
and to be able to, in a parallel process, watch our own transformation while we are also supporting the transformation of the children and families that we're working with right now. It's just an extraordinary lens and a place to sit. So
Yeah,
absolutely.
it's amazing.
What a beautiful question. I hope it's
Mm.
a question that, even if someone isn't SPT trained, that we're all asking, how am I being changed? How am I
Mhm.
being affected by this? How am I allowing this to shift things inside of me, and how is this helping me deepen my own understanding of myself and my own uh, capacities? It's an important question, and it's a beautiful question, and I'm just grateful that SPT gives me some permission to ask that on a regular basis, and some support in navigating the answers that I discover.
Yes,
Yeah.
completely, completely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Catherine.
Yeah. Thank you, Lisa.